Uh, Chosen boys and girls become God's men and women to align with themselves. But before you get into all of that, chosen, you got to disappear to update your software. Yeah. As the saying goes, if you want to go far, go with the crowd. But if you want to go fast, go alone. You know what I mean? If you ask me, if you see anybody who is anything, especially people with big dreams, it takes a lot of people to accomplish or to help you get to where you're headed. You know what I mean? But today, guys, let's focus on going fast until you get to a certain position where you have to mingle. You know what I'm saying, guys? We're gonna title this video Disappear Until. Yeah, and guys, today's Sunday, and this is your Sunday motivation. Yes, I'm on fire this morning. Yeah. Hey, this is Alula Frahiwat and another video for Awaken the Ego Within. I just want to start off like that. Hello, beautiful people of the world. This is Alula and welcome to Awaken the Ego Within. Chosens, if you haven't subscribed by now, you are missing out. Check me out on Insta at Awaken the Ego. The link is on the channel. Yep, today is Sunday, guys. So you guys already know what that means. Today is the day for motivation. You know what I'm saying? Guys, Sunday is the day I feel motivated. So let me share my energy with you guys. Let me give you a shout out, Chosen One, whoever you are, wherever you are. I hope you're having a good day, good morning, or good night. Yeah. Now, the title for this video, guys, is called Disappear Until. Let me just come out straight off the bat and say, Chosen, you got to disappear until you get your house in order. Seriously speaking. You know what I mean? There comes a time where you need to go in isolation for you to update yourself, really. It's only now that I feel like I'm coming out of this state. I feel like my software is updated and I'm at where I needed to be. And now I can mingle and do my things with people. You know what I mean? Guys, everything that we do, it takes people, involves people. You know what I mean? After all, we are here to serve one another. But there's got to be a period in your life where you go in a monk mode. You go into isolation for important reason. Is a way of saying disconnect to reconnect. Is a way of saying you got to disappear so that you can appear, but appear differently. You know what I mean? Also known as recreating yourself, really. You know what I mean? What is the first thing you got to disappear to do? Chosen ones, you got to disappear to get your spiritual health in order. You know what I mean? The spiritual shift is the most important shift. Let me tell you something. You know what I mean? When it comes to success or when it comes to failure, you know what I mean? It happens in the spiritual world before it happens in this physical world. This is why the biggest attacks are spiritual attacks, guys. You know what I mean? Once you're attacked spiritually, understand, you've been defeated. Just like anything else, spiritual health is something that needs maintenance. You know what I mean? The period of isolation for the chosen one is important to get his or her spiritual health in order. You know what I mean? Understand one thing. In order for you to be great, you got to vibrate great. You know what I mean? And to vibrate greatly requires for you to update your software, guys. My isolation period lasted for almost 3 years, actually. And it was the toughest and it was also the best time of my life. It's only now that I feel good enough to connect again. If you guys know what I'm saying. Now, for how long this isolation should last for you, chosen one, you decide. You know what I mean? But the spiritual shift is the number one priority for the chosen. You know what I mean? Chosen one disappeared to get your spiritual health in order. Once you do, now we're gonna move to the next stage, which is the physical. Do you see what I'm saying? Once you move spiritually, the physical has no choice but to follow you. You know what I mean? Once your spiritual health is vibrating high, you know what I mean? Naturally, your physical will also follow. Disappear until you get in a perfect physical shape. Yeah, I wouldn't say perfect, but until you feel like you're healthiest. You know what I mean? Funny enough, when I'd left the state of the dark night, that is where I released most of my emotion. You know what I mean? At the beginning of my isolation, I must admit, it's like I was forced into that state. Like, you know what I mean? I had no choice but to stay in that state. You know what I mean? In that period, I was dealing with a lot of different emotions, which I held within me for a very long time. And funny enough, these emotions was getting released one by one by one. You know what I'm saying? And then, funny enough, after a little while, I saw that all the things, after I released them, I didn't even think about it like anymore. Not even once, funny enough. And this is something that was like in me for a long time. Now, when those emotions were released for me, then within a little while, I began to lose weight. I began to look so light. You know what I mean? I understood. You know what I mean? Emotional blockages, guys, is connected to your physical also. That is why many of you, when you pass through the state of the dark night, you come out looking all vibrant, clear, and you look like a glass coming, like people can see through you. You shine in that kind of manner. You know what I mean? That's what happens when one, you know what I mean, guys, is liberated spiritually. You know what I mean? The physical has no choice but to follow you. That is the second reason why you got to disappear, chosen, to get your physical in order. Last but not least, chosen ones, is to get your finances in order. Yeah. This is important actually, because we live in like a capitalist society. If you live in a capitalist society, you got to understand finances is important. Chosen one, disappear to get your finances in order. You know what I mean? Finances, it takes money in order for you to do the things that you got to do. You know what I mean? It takes money for you to express your ideas. And particularly when it comes to relationship, what I say is this: if you're broke, you have no business getting with anybody, really, because you're not even standing on, like, you haven't even stood on your 2 feet properly, especially as a man. You know what I mean? The number one man of a job is provider and protector. You know what I mean? Funny enough, a lot of people want to provide for other people without even providing for themselves properly. You know what I mean? Chosen one, you are your number one priority. Therefore, in order for you, for you to do things, you got to be powerful in every way. Whether it's in your spiritual way, whether it's in your physical way, and also in your finances. You know what I mean? Once you get your finance in order, then you can mingle chosen ones. This is what I mean. There's got to be a time for anybody who is anything, you know what I mean, to go in isolation. This is important, guys. You know what I mean? So that you can mingle. And most importantly, so that you can establish yourself. So that you can learn who you are. Well, I should have put this at the first, but it's kind of connected to the spiritual shift. You know what I mean? Understand one thing, chosen one. A spiritual shift is... Oh, look at this. It's been raining again. A spiritual shift is knowledge of self, really. You know what I'm saying? Chosen ones shall find their purpose through spirituality. Yeah. You know what I mean? Therefore, you got to disappear to establish yourself. And then once you establish yourself, you can play this game with understanding of who you really are. You know what I mean? This important point is that, guys, when you get to play the game of life, especially when it comes to, being involved with people, when it comes to the things they're going to do in business or whatever, anything that it takes people. The thing is that everybody has a position to play. You know what I mean? So you cannot be good at this game if you don't understand your strengths and weaknesses. It's just like a soccer game. One is the midfielder, the other one is the wing. Do you see what I'm saying? Just like that, in this game of life, guys, we got to play with understanding of our strengths and also our weaknesses. This is why you get to disappear, so that you can learn yourself properly. You know what I mean? Now, once you learn yourself, you can mingle and play this game with, most importantly, understanding of yourself, guys. And this is your Sunday motivation, guys. Chosen. God bless you and take care. The rain is coming. All right. God bless.